Hello and welcome. I am Ashmanix. It is Friday evening once again, and I've decided to play some more Island. And I apologize in advance. I am finishing my dinner. But yes, Island. Um. Oh my god. Why am I getting so much spam recently to my email? Anyway, welcome. In the last part of the playthrough, interesting things happened. Hello there, Evangelidona. Welcome to the stream. We got the quote-unquote good ending for Rine, where, in the end, we decide to marry her, Kuon is happy, and everything goes well. And then, we decided to continue. Evangelidona saying hashtag spam. I know, man. Oh, what the fuck. But to be fair, I'm pretty good with marking things as spam and all that, so my mailbox does filter most of that shit out. It's just every so often a new one gets through. And every so often, stuff that isn't spam gets sent to the spam folder, so you do have to keep an eye out for these things. Keep constant vigilance. Pardon me? As I was saying, so we continued and to get, so we got the good ending, and now we're playing what is regarded as the true ending. And what we found out, or what it looks like is happening, is really something else. Evangelidona said, I honestly haven't checked my email in months. Mate, how can you get away with that? I don't know, man. I feel like I've got a... I have to check it, man. Multiple times a day. Like, I've got my email set up on my phone, right? And so, I just get the notifications and check through it. And I don't like having lots of unread emails or unread messages. Evangelidona said, I don't really have any reason to check it. I don't know, man. I mean, someone might contact you by email to ask you to, like, help out with something. You know, like, you know, something technical or whatever, or... I don't know, maybe a friend emails you. I know it's rare. Most people just message you or whatever. But, you know. And then I'm sure you get emails from, like, government shit. I don't know. Like, if you need to renew something. Driver's license. I don't know. Do they email you? I don't know how to do it in America. But, like, I feel like you need to check emails for something. But hey ho, I'm not here to be the email police or whatever. Yeah, so we found out, so they send letters for that. Yeah, but you know, I feel like that's happening less and less. America might be a bit slow in those things. Unless, I'm not going to pretend the UK is super advanced, but... Fuck. Yeah. I mean, look, if you don't... You're just talking to someone that's almost anal about... When I get emails and stuff, I have to, like... I don't want to have 500 unread emails. And then I have to check through them to make sure it's, like... There's nothing important. But yeah. Oh, shit, what was I saying? I was talking about the true ending. So, in the true ending, we get to fight Kuon. We say to Kuon that Rine, the one from the future, was the one that we loved. And she went mental. She goes, you don't deserve Rine. Why are you saying this now? Holy... And I was like, oh shit. Oh shit. And I think Evangelidona had asked the question, or someone had asked the question of, why does Kuon look so much like Rine if in the story, I think the story even points this out as well. If in the story, what we find out is that Kuon isn't Rine's mother. Kuon is not the original Kuon. She's taken that name on. She is a maid who worked for the family, and she took care of Rine as the maid, and like Rine is now like a daughter to her. Now, there's a couple of things that didn't make that kind of made you think twice, and it's been pointed out in the game as well. Why did Rine spend 5 years looking for... Sorry, why did Kuon spend 5 years looking for Rine if she was just like someone who took care of her? Why did she care so much about her? And so the insinuation is that Rine is actually Kuon's daughter. And the other insinuation, so I don't know if it's said or we've kind of surmised this. The story that Rine tells us, so we're talking about current version Rine, right? So this is the Rine in the background here, if I can show you my mouse, right? This one, the story she tells us in one of the roots that she remembers a Setsuna from the past who would tell her stories, blah blah blah, right? It turns out that Rine is not actually related to Norimasu, right? Who's the father, who's the father of the household, the original Kuon's husband. Otherwise, she would definitely have death blight syndrome, death blight syndrome, suit blight syndrome, which she doesn't have because we've proven this. But it does turn out that they had a son called Setsuna, and that son is the person I think Kuon, the person who is acting as Kuon, the person who's been acting as Rine's mother up to this point, fell in love with. And so this my theory, if it's even a theory, because I feel like it's just been almost proven out by now in the game, is that Kuon is the actual Rine from the future. She came back to the past. She came back a little bit earlier than when we came back to the past. She did. She's in love with us, our character Setsuna, but she came back to the past and met a different Setsuna. This is actually, when I think about it, this is actually kind of well done. I actually quite like this. So she met a different Setsuna, which isn't her Setsuna, but she fell in love with him. You know, because she wasn't going to meet the other Setsuna, so she tried. I'm assuming she tried to move on, and she got pregnant from him. Now this other Setsuna is the guy. So see that shack, the little shed that's at the beach, right next to the sea. He lived there because he was shunned by his family because he has Suit Blight syndrome, and I don't know why they kicked him out, right? Because the father had Suit Blight syndrome as well. So why didn't he get kicked out? Either way, he lived in that shack, and he was like ignored by the family. They pretended he didn't even fucking exist. Yeah, so she fell in love with him. He must have, which is why there was a note in the Ohara library that says Setsuna must die, because it was the son Setsuna, Norimasu's son, that they said must die. So anyway, which is kind of fucked up, which is why when Rine told us the story of her past, she was like, what she remembers, she says, I remember the Setsuna had a fight with Norimasu and killed him, right, to protect Rine. And I was like, whoa, that's fucking harsh, what the fuck? Or something happened to Norimasu, and I think it's because he had Suit Blight syndrome. So when he went out in the sun, he just like disintegrated. I think that's what happened. By the way, that Setsuna, which would explain actually why that Setsuna died. He didn't die from being hit in the head then. He must have died from Suit Blight syndrome. if he was stuck on a beach. Oh shit. Anyway, so the Rene here was telling us this story in one of the timelines. But I think she's been told these stories by Kuon or someone, right? Evangelion Donut saying the Soot King got him. Oh my god, wait, is that a fucking reference to Iwaihime? Oh my god. So I think Rene from the future, yeah, as I said, she came back, she had a kid with the other Setsuna, who is this Rene, because she couldn't wait for Setsuna to come back, because she told us, she says, I was madly in love with him, but I don't think she meant the Setsuna that she met here on the island, on this island. I think she was talking about us when she met us in the future. And you know what, I'm genuinely impressed by this, because I actually didn't see it coming, mainly because we were like so preoccupied with the other stuff that was going on. We didn't think too much. I liked Kuon. I thought Kuon was awesome. I think Kuon's best girl, and I've been proven right, so eat it, right? But all the stuff that was happening, and then the stuff that happened in the winter arc, which I fucking did not like, for various reasons. We've talked about this in the past streams. But it did introduce us to the Rene of the future, and I'm not going to. Let's not fucking wait any longer, shall we? Let's get into this, because I can talk until the fucking cows come home. So let's continue. Shit was getting real, if I remember.
もしかしたらもっとスマートなやり方があったのかもしれません。あるいは母親であることを優先するべきだったのかもしれません。
So we were finding out a lot of stuff from Maria. Maria was telling us a story of Kuon's past, how Kuon appeared out of nowhere, and she was about 12 or 13 years old, which was how old Rene was from the future when we left her, when we left and came to the past. And she was just called Ku, which means what? Empty, I think, in Japanese. That was the nickname they gave her, which is pretty cruel when you think about it. But they were friends, Maria, because Maria and Natsuki, who is Karen's mum, they were in the same age, and they were friends with her, and they got on with her. So, yeah, and to think she got pregnant at the age of, like, I'm assuming she was 16 when she got pregnant, because the timeline kind of makes it around that time. And that's also because I was like, why? So the original Kuon really didn't like Ku, right? Who's now Kuon. And after the child was born, she was like extra shitty to Ku and the child. And I was like, what? Why was she fucking shitty to the child? It's her own child. The Mario was saying because Ku got along with the child Rene, and the original Kuon didn't like this, so she would be like abuse the child. And I was like, why the fuck would she abuse the child if it's her own child, right? I know you get pissy if your child had a favorite that wasn't you, but that seems a little bit extreme. And if you think about the Rene being at Ku's actual child, biological child, it all makes sense. And then I was like, why would they even keep Rene and Ku, right? Why would they keep the Rene if it's not a child that's to do with them? But because Rene was born from their son Setsuna, it means that she carries their bloodline, and so she can become the new head of the family. Because they have a matriarchal system on the island. And I'm like, oh shit. Evangelion Dancing, I mean, conveying your thoughts during a Let's Play is a key pinnacle of why it's fair use, so conversating is good. Yeah, and I enjoy doing this. I just don't want to, like... I could talk it for, like, literally an hour before we start the game, and I want to get into this, because it's getting good.
ですが、今は後悔はしていません。
You have no regrets. You are a terrible mother. You should have regrets.
あの子の笑顔を見た瞬間に気がついたんです。私の旅には 無駄なことなど何一つなかったことに。
So the redemption thing here for Maria is supposed to be that, like, so we know that Maria left Sarah after the temple, the shrine burnt down and her husband died. She left Sarah behind. She technically left Sarah with the Kurutsu, is it the Kurutsu? The Karen's family. And the justification was because she was trying to research how to cure Soup Blight syndrome. Using gene therapy. And I get that, but at the same time, I was like, you didn't need to leave your daughter behind. You could have just took your daughter with you. Like, why would the first thought that came to your mind be, I want my daughter to continue to think I'm dead so that she believes that she is an orphan, you know, having actually lost her father at the time. And I'm going to continue in secret to do research for this. Like, you have to, I feel like you have to either, I mean, you have to be a pretty shitty person or at least extremely stupid or naive to just think that's an okay thing to do. I don't know. So this doesn't just, for me, it doesn't redeem her. But anyway.
せつなさん、あなたのやり遂げるべきことは何ですか?
You have to fucking love Kuon. You have to make up for fucking 20 goddamn years or whatever. Oh shit, man. How long has it been? So she arrived when she was 13, and I think that was 20 years ago. I think that's what they're saying. Or 23 years ago. Or so. Yeah, wait, Rene is 23. Technically 23. Holy fucking shit. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine waiting 23 years? Like, you've fallen in love and you have to wait 23 years to meet the person. And you don't even know. No, it's not even waiting. You just don't know, right? You'd stop waiting after a while. Like, you'd give up hope. Oh my god. Fuck, you know. Evangelion is saying Ash, in quotes, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. Don't throw that shit at me, right? I mean, yes. And there's times where that applies. But this isn't a black and white. This isn't a binary choice. As I said, she could have continued to research Soup Blight syndrome and taking her daughter with her. Because she went to the mainland. What are the mainland going to do? No one's going to, like, persecute them if she went to the mainland as a, like, unless she just doesn't like to be known as a single mum. I mean, why? Like, I can understand under certain circumstances if Sarah had some sort of, like, condition that she couldn't leave the island. And Maria's like, I need to do this. I need to do this for my daughter, and I need to do this for the island. But she didn't have anything as convenient as that. Evangelion saying either eradicate Soup Blight syndrome or care for your child on the island. No, man, she could have taken the child off the island. Like Mike, Lowe, and Og. Wait, what's that? What's Mike, Lowe, and Og a reference to? It's not, she didn't, that wasn't, those weren't the only options though. She could have taken Sarah with her. Actually, all the, like, Natsumi, Karen's mom was the same. She went, fuck this. But Natsumi had a reason. Because her husband, who is the mayor, was just like, you're not allowed to go. He was overpowering, he was overbearing. And it was a loveless marriage. So she felt she had to run away. But she left her child in the care of her husband. And I think she knew that her husband does care for their children, right? So it's not like she was leaving Karen in an abusive household. Even though Karen and, the father don't get along. What is this? Michael and Og intro, that's the reference. What is this? What the fuck with the ads? An ad for... You motherfucker, YouTube, fuck off. Oh my god. It's a fucking 20-second ad. Man, suck a dick. Fuck off. Why does this look slightly... I never watched this when I was a kid. This looks like a fever dream, man. That was interesting. Anyway, right, fuck. Let's continue. Huh?
あなたがこの島にやってきたのは、それをやり遂げたからですか?
Wait, why did we come to the island? We came back to the... Oh, fuck. This is fucked up. We came back to the island because we came back to the girl we fell in love with. But we fell in love with someone in the future. Well, I think he fell... I mean, it's dodge. But we fell in love with someone in the future as well after our first love. And the person we fell in love with in the future ended up being the mother of the person we first fell in love with. What the fuck? Right? This is fucked up. Evangelion saying it was a fever dream. Also get uBlock Origin. Yeah, but the problem is it was playing within the Discord thing, right? So it was embedded, and that's when the ad played. So I actually pay for YouTube Premium. So if I opened it up in YouTube proper, I would have been fine. And I know people are gonna like ridicule me for playing for YouTube Premium, but I watch a lot of YouTube on the TV, and it's a lot harder using a Chromecast to block the ads. So I don't give a fuck. Do you know what? Do you know what? I watch so much fucking YouTube that it saves me goddamn. It probably saves me hours a month. An hour a month maybe in ads. Okay, not an hour. But it probably saves me hours a year. I'm willing to pay for that because the ads are getting worse and fucking worse on YouTube, and I can't be fucked. And I know some stuff works. On desktop it's fine. If I exclusively watch on desktop it'll be fine. I'm not going to get the fucking hacked app or whatever to watch it on the phone without ads. I'm not just not fucking about with it. I'm just going to pay for it. I don't give a shit. That way I could bitch about YouTube and I can tell it to fuck off because I pay for your bullshit. So shut the fuck up, right? I'm not doing myself any favors on this platform, man. Anyway, YouTube's not going to like shadow ban me even more than usual. Evangelion saying YouTube is selling a solution to a problem they created themselves. True, but also it's not a sustainable system. It makes sense to pay for a service that like handles video streaming to billions of people a day. Sorry, like that shouldn't be free. And to be honest, relying on advertising is why we're in this mess. That's why YouTube is so fucking shitty about their rules. They're so fucking shitty. They'll shadow ban you and all this fucking bullshit. If people just paid for the service, granted, people who can't afford it, which is a lot of people, wouldn't have access to it. But like, you just the advertising fucking model doesn't fucking work. Not for video streaming, because it's so expensive. And shitification. Yeah, do you know what then shitification is, in my opinion, right? Do you know how we were set up to fall? This was set up like dominoes to fall, right? I'm going to go off on a tangent when I really shouldn't be because we're at like a crucial part of the story. But anyway, this is my opinion. So yeah, whatever I say, I accept that I can quite possibly be wrong entirely. But hey ho, these are my opinions. When you have a whole bunch of services that you don't fucking pay for, and you rely on either them shadily selling your data and making fuck tons of money from it, or bullshit advertising, so they have to like basically kiss the advertiser's ass and say, please sir, pay us some money, please sir, please advertise on our platform, right? then you're going to eventually have a problem when the advertisers decide to like spend less money, or they have opinions about what shit that you show on your platform, which they inevitably will, because they don't want to have their product. I mean, if I was selling a product, I wouldn't want my product to be advertised against certain things, like videos glorifying terrorism or some shit, right? Or some dude that's showing you how to make a bomb when you really shouldn't be showing people how to make bombs, right? Etc, etc, etc. Now, the reality is that doesn't happen a lot, but one video has an ad before it, you know, one controversial video, and then you have fucking, what was it, Adgate? I can't remember what it was called. So yeah, anyway, it's not sustainable. None of these fucking companies, Discord, YouTube, Twitch, none of them are fucking sustainable, right? They only exist because they were ideas and products produced in Silicon Valley, where you have a whole bunch of crazy investors that are willing to pay fuck tons of money for a really good idea, a really good product, that they hope one day they'll figure out how to monetize, and they're willing to pay billions, up to billions of dollars for a fucking for a company or an idea or whatever, right? Until it starts making money. It's actually kind of fucking ridiculous. Also, I mean, if you live in Silicon Valley or around Silicon Valley, or even in America, right? You have just like this ridiculously unfair advantage in that specific respect, right? I think in general, right, if you live in the West, you have an unfair advantage, right? To a lot. I mean, the world is unfair. Hey ho, I'm not going to complain. I live in the UK, right? It's not like I live in the arse end of, not like I live in the North Pole or some shit. But like it's a very weird bubble, and that bubble kind of burst. I think just after COVID, because the money dried up and a lot of things happened, and these investors are going, wait a minute, fucking YouTube is still not making loads and loads. It's not like a money maker, right? And why does YouTube continue? Because it's owned by Google, and Google make money by selling your data. They make it from advertising, but they don't just rely on big advertisers. They rely on everybody advertising with them, and they just charge you a fucking for your an arm and a leg for it, or whatever. But YouTube itself, I still don't think is massively profitable. It's a halo product for Google though, and so that's why it's there. I'm pretty sure Twitch is the same. Twitch don't make a proper profit, but Amazon fucking own it, and Amazon run Twitch on AWS servers, right? So, like, that's how that's just handled. Evangelical saying Discord is reaching that point as well. Yeah, Discord is the same, right? I mean, they're starting to show ads and shit because they can't fucking... You can't make money when you're hosting a fuck ton of people on servers online. You can't make it... It can't fucking be free because it costs a fuck ton of money, right? Like, the money has to come from somewhere. This is the reality of life. But we've all grown up. Like, even my generation, even a lot of millennials, like, we have spent the majority of adulthood and teenage years even as well, taking advantage of things like email addresses that are like via Microsoft email addresses or Google email addresses, Google products, Microsoft products. We've like spent our whole life taking advantage of these quote unquote free services, right? But nothing in this fucking world is free. They have to pay somehow, and they either do it by showing you a fuck ton of fucking ads right up your arsehole, right? Right into your eyeballs. Evangelical saying, hey, I'm allowed. Yeah, I'm including you in this, right? Even we've been through all of this. Like, the majority of the services we use are free, but they're not free, and somehow they need to be paid. And eventually, when people figure out how they're fucking selling their data, which they have at this point, they have to find other ways to actually make money, right? And then they go, shit, this isn't that profitable. We need to fucking try and make money other ways, right? And what do? They basically make the product shittier because they have to fucking make money by selling ads to you, by somehow making money out of you. And that's when they fucking shove in ads everywhere. So I've heard that like Twitch because Twitch doesn't put ads on streams of users that are not partners or whatever the fuck affiliates. But I've heard they might start doing that now because they're just not making enough money, and the majority of people that stream on Twitch are not partners, so they don't have any ad money coming in from that. Which is the same for YouTube as well. Like, if you are a small YouTuber and you don't have, what the fuck is it? You're not beyond the 1,000 subscriber thing where you're not monetized. They don't show ads on your video, but that means they don't make any money from your videos at all, which is like, oh shit, so the majority of videos on YouTube don't show ads, right? And they've done that now. Before, you used to be able to monetize your channel, you didn't have to have anything. I think you just had to have had an account for a while or something. You didn't have to have any fucking one subscriber. You could just like monetize straight away. I did that with a channel once. And then fucking the adpocalypse happened, and I went fuck. And that's when they actually started. They said, no, you need to have 1,000 subscribers now before you can even monetize. Man, it was the Wild West back in the day. Evangelion Donut says freemium's the word. Freemium is the word, but you know what? There's no such thing as a free lunch. And I know I'm sounding like an old fucking crabbit man, because I am. I'm literally old man shouts at cloud, right? But that's life, and that's what's going to happen now. Unless you want to have the shittiest fucking product on, like YouTube is just getting worse and worse. And then the algorithm shit as well. The algorithm is so fucking, like, they've geared it like, so people don't like TikTok. A lot of people don't like TikTok around its algorithm, its addictiveness. Rightly so. But that's how they have to make money now, by making YouTube so fucking addictive, or they try to make it as addictive as possible to keep you watching for as long as possible. That's what Twitter does. That's what, I mean, Twitch tries to do. They want you to keep using the product so that eventually you'll see a fucking ad, and hopefully you'll click on that fucking ad. Actually, I don't think they give a shit if you click on the ad. They need you to see it so they can charge for it, right? And they're just going to find the most fucking insidious motherfucking ways to do that, right? Because they have to try and keep on making some sort of money. And to be fair, even when if they make all the money, it's not fucking enough, right? And if you just look, Evangelion said there is such a thing as a free lunch. Food banks exist. Do you not sell part of your dignity to get to the point where you're having to use a food bank? Like, you have lost something in the process. Free just because you haven't paid money for it doesn't mean it's free. And charity is not included. Like, if I will split out charity from that, where, you know, you're in such a dire position that you need to go to a food bank and get charity. And even then, you could argue that if you go to a food bank, if it's a company, I don't know, if there's someone like whoever is running it, I mean, at the very least, I mean, someone's paying for that, right? Someone has donated money to the food bank. Someone's donated food. So it's not like it comes from nowhere. Nothing is free, right? Crider saying sup. Evangelion saying no, not really. Food banks were a key part of keeping people alive during the Great Depression. Yeah, look, but the thing is, you have to be, you're in a totally different position there, right? To have to go to food banks, and that is charity, and I regard that as different. If someone gives you, I wouldn't regard, if you're down and out and someone gives you some money to like get by for the day, like, I'm like, yeah, that's free money, but that's charity, and you're in a very bad position. I will regard that as different. So yes, technically you can get a free lunch, but like, even for that, right, that person, at least, I mean, everything is, in my opinion, you know, everybody is run by some sort of selfish, and when I say selfish, I don't mean the type of selfish of, oh, I'm just doing this and I don't care about anyone else. Selfish motivation in that, like, something that benefits yourself, right? And like, I'm not what's the word? what's the word when you do something and it's like selfless, right? I mean, there's selfless, but there's a word for it where you do it altruistic, right? Where you're just doing it for the benefit of others. I believe that you get something when you do something good for someone else, even and I include things like that feeling of satisfaction, that feeling of completeness, or feeling that good feeling you get from helping someone else, right? You don't just do it. We don't just do it like automatons. No one. I'm not gonna say no one because there's always a fucking person that breaks rules, but the majority of people get something out of doing good deeds, right? If you're religious or not religious, like if it's your moral system and you feel like you are, like you feel like a, I don't know, get into this meditation state or something. You feel a sense of satisfaction and goodness out of doing something that you believe is the right thing to do, right? So you're getting something out of it that makes you feel better in some form of way. You're not just doing it because you know it's the right thing to do. There's something you get out of it, either immediately or at some point, right? And I'm not talking about like just getting money or people doing favors and shit. But anyway, so like that, you know, people are motivated by different things, right? Like you'll do, some people will go and do charity work and stuff like that because they you know, maybe they've been through something similar and they want to help other people out, and they get a sense of satisfaction and feeling good to be able to help their other people. Like there's all sorts of like like I call it, I mean, there's selfish motivations in that they are things that help you, but I don't mean selfish because the word selfish has lots of negative connotations, right? Because it's always used in the most extreme thing. Crack dealer is saying, shh, you're talking too much. Shum. Evangelical is saying 2008 was the millennial depression. Don't I fucking know it? Crack dealer is saying dignity. Evangelical is saying, and now it looks like the mid 2020s will be another depression. You know, we never really fully recover from 2008. Just saying. Crack dealer is saying, why would I say no to free food? I mean, it could be poisoned. I don't know. Imagine was saying, I used to volunteer at a local food bank. I take pride in that. Yeah, and you know how you feel pride and you feel goodness out of your heart? Like, you get something out of it. Altruistic. I believe that nothing is 100% altruistic in the sense of you're doing it just for, like, the good of it. I believe that you get something out of it. And like, feeling good, feeling a sense of worth or a sense of, I don't know, moral and ethical rightness, right, is something that makes you feel good, feels right, like a satisfaction in what you and that you're helping other people. Like it's the same, like you get a satisfaction from doing that. It's like actually a stronger motivation than just like getting all the monies and all the stuffs, right? Anyway, practicing watching Ashman streams isn't altruistic. Yeah, bastard. Evangelical says it's human nature, Ash. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying this is like we are social animals, right? And this all kind of ties into our evolution as animals on this planet, and the idea of working well together, like we feel good about it because in a survival sort of way, to work together as a society, as a group, makes it more likely that you'll survive, which is, I think, part of the reason why we've been able to develop into a society that we have today that has, in many ways, far surpassed any other animal on this planet. Cracker says, I or anyone would get nothing out of it. The guys in my chat, you guys love me so much. Honestly, when I think about it, I've only ever volunteered for most of my life. The only time I ever had a paying job was for several months into it, which led to traumatic. What the fuck? Damn, man. Like, I mean, I don't know what to say to that, man. Like, now I want to just make it clear, like I use the word selfish, but I'm not using it in the type of way I'm like you're a bad person, because you're not. This is not about bad or good, right? I mean, these things can fall into different levels of bad or good depending on what you're doing. Like selfishness It's just about like personal motivation. Strawberry had my head bashed with a pistol. So, oh shit. I'm sorry to hear that, man. And I know that me saying I'm sorry to hear that means as much as it means fuck all. But I don't know, man. I think it's like I admire people who do volunteer. Like it is like I've talked about selfishness, I've talked about motivations and stuff like that. But you go into like moral and ethical frameworks to help your fellow man, your fellow person is, I think, is a noble thing, right? But I also believe, and this is I don't know, selfish side of me, that you have to, you have to care for yourself first to a degree before you care for others. Like, you have to at least feed yourself the basics so you survive, right? So you can be there for others and stuff like that. Like the danger, and I don't have this problem obviously, but the danger is if you think for others a lot more than you think for yourself, is that you can end up really hurting yourself in the long run. And I don't know, I mean, it's not necessarily sustainable, right? If it's super extreme. I'm just saying, don't worry about it. I don't look back on it negatively. No need to feel bad. Well, this was one hell of a conversation, wasn't it? Fucking hell. I didn't think I'd come into the stream talking about stuff like this, but I suppose welcome to the for any one of you that are new. Welcome to an Ashmanic stream. I'd like to think that my streams are a little bit more different than other people's streams, but who am I kidding? None of us are special. I'm just a floating head in the corner. Evangelist Donut says, conversation moves the nation, as they say. Interesting. I've not heard that one, but I get that, yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, and I've said this numerous times before, I think. I come on here not to play games. I come on here to like have a conversation, and whether it is with people in the chat, or I just have a conversation with myself because I like to talk to myself like a fucking psychopath, on stream, using the game as like a canvas of subjects of things to talk about. That's what I kind of enjoy the most, which is probably why I'll never be a successful streamer. But having said that, I quite enjoy what I have just now. Anyway, let us continue. No, I've come a long, long way. My first goal was to make Rini happy, nothing more, nothing less. But I'm not the one who has stayed by her side the longest, or has wished for her happiness the most. That wasn't my job. I haven't accomplished anything yet.
私は近々本土に戻るつもりです。あの子と別れるのは確かに心苦しいですが、このままでは私を許してくれたあの子を裏切ることになりますから。
Grandier says he comes here to rank because his grandchildren won't listen to him. You say that, but that's assuming that I even have children. To have grandchildren? I feel like that's a backhanded compliment. Evangelidot says, saying psychopath, question mark. You do realize there are a lot of self-centered asshole streamers who would qualify as a psychopath far more than you would. You're fairly normal, old man. Old man. I'm an old man. Crackdoor saying, it's fine, Ash, don't give them a single piece of gold. Fuck. Anyway, let's continue.
いつか仕事を終えて戻ってきた時こそが、あの子と本当の意味で家族になる時だと信じています。
And what happens, Maria, if you spend your whole life researching this, and by the time you come back, Sarah's not there anymore, for whatever reason? And you've lost all these opportunities while she's been grown up to be there for her. As I said before, it's not binary, right? The choice is not binary. She could have involved Sarah in her work. She could have taken her with her to the mainland.
刹那さんにもその時が来るでしょう。いつかリンネちゃんに、そしてクーちゃんに家族だと認められる日が。
I don't even know how to interpret, like, this is so weird. What a weird situation. You fell in love with the younger, with Rene, and then you went to the future and met a Rene who fell in love with you, and came back to the past, and had this Rene. This is messed up. I see. Now I understand why Maria wanted to have a drink with me. Our circumstances are so similar. We're both nothing but worthless pieces of trash right now. At least he's self-aware. Do you know what? He's right. You are both worthless pieces of trash. I find it hard to believe that I'll ever see a day like that.
あら、明日は明日の風が吹くですよ。
Well,
人生何があるか分かりませんって。
I mean, definitely in this game, you don't know what tomorrow will bring. It's definitely full of twists and turns. Character, Imagine I don't sing in quotes. Maria is the only family I need. End quote. Setsuna if you were actually based. No, mate. What are you talking about? Maria sucks. Evangelido said, hey, he said it. Wait, what? What did he say? Yeah, he said he's a worthless piece of shit. Our sarcasm, we're both nothing but worthless pieces of trash right now. Wait, maybe that should be the quote for this. No, let's continue. Maybe it'll be a better one.
私だって最初はちらっとあの子の顔を見るだけのつもりだったんですから。
I know, you weren't even going to talk to her.
刹那さんにあの子に引き合わされて、ずいぶん人生観変えられちゃったんですよ。
What are you talking about? That was like yesterday. Sorry about that. What? She can't boast about finding a cure for soup blight syndrome. What an understatement. Her research is going to save countless lives. Countless? Really? I mean, it's the people on the island. That's going to be a lot of people, but it's not countless. And the knowledge she's gained will be applied to other diseases as well, which will eventually change the world for the better. When did she get so good at gene therapy fucking research? Did she say she went and studied or something? In the grand scheme of things, anything else, even her own daughter, doesn't mean much compared to that grand achievement. Now, this is the needs of the many over the needs of the few. Oh, you imagine I don't saying that countless. As I said, the needs of the many outweigh the few. No, man, yes, but when you have a responsibility, right? When you, in my opinion, right, what supersedes things like that is when you have a singular responsibility, like taking care of your own child, and that responsibility falls to like only you. Then I think that you're still a dick if you choose to totally abandon them to do something to benefit the many over the few, because you're sacrificing them for more people, but you're like, there, as I say, it's very rarely a binary option. You very rarely are like held at gunpoint and told you have to make a decision. Either you take care of your child or you save the world. And she does not have this. The game keeps trying to make it sound like that, but it's not that, and this is the thing I have issue is. Evangelito says she didn't totally abandon her, she's back in her life, making up for lost time. Yes, but I still think she was a shitty person, and at least she acknowledges it. I just don't... Do you know what? What I don't like is not so much what Maria... Because Maria admits that she was a shitty person, right? So, like, I don't have an issue with that. She's like, yeah, I was shit. I am being shitty. It's the game narration trying to make it sound like, oh no, but she was being, she was being awesome, she's doing the right thing. I'm like, no man, she was still a shit person, and this is not redeeming. Like, how long did she leave her for? How many years has she been away for? How'd you make up for that? She makes up for it by spending the rest of her, childhood, rest of Sarah's childhood with her, right? Up to the point where she's truly old enough to be independent. Wait, what age is Sarah now? Is she not 16? Shit, right? She's almost at adulthood. Evangelion is saying in quotes, yes, I am shit, but I saved countless lives in the process. Mate. Like, yeah, history might judge her differently, right? But she was still a shit person. I don't know. However, hey Maria, is there anything I could do? Because do you know what the other thing I feel is it's like she's using it as an excuse to be more careless as a mother. She's like, oh, I have to run away. She's running away because she doesn't want to take the responsibility. She's running away because she doesn't want to have to face her child on her own. Like, it was okay when it was her and the husband, but I think she's like, I can't do this on my own, right? And I can't be a proper adult, because you can see how she acts, right? She's like a woman child, and so she's used, like, and she has these noble goals, but she's using it as a crux. Dawson Weber, welcome to the stream. It's been a while. How are you doing? I'm doing fine, thanks, man. How are you? Wait, what? Did I read that? I never had any great aspirations like you do. I've just been trying to make someone close to me happy. But I've kept on failing. I haven't been able to make anyone happy. There's nothing left for me to do. What, you're gonna just walk into the river and drown?
私だってそうですよ、刹那さん。親友を救えず、夫を救えず。私にできたのはこの島を逃げ出すことだけでした。
Yeah, she just ran away. At least she admits it. Cradier is saying it's character development. Sarah should be grateful. Mate, what are you talking about? You imagine not saying Dawson's Creek has returned. Dawson's Creek, nice. Cradier is saying that'll be you, Ash. Don't be so harsh. What will be me? What?
バイモン病の研究を始めたのは、そんな自分を正当化するための言い訳に過ぎません。
I told you guys, didn't I? She says it's just an excuse to justify myself.
今こうして大見栄を切って夢を語れるのは、決して自分の仕事に誇りを持っているからではなく、サラが認めてくれたからに過ぎません。私はどこまで行っても最低の人間です。まっとうな大人になれなかった大きな子供です。
Fucking nailed it. That's exactly what I was saying. She's just a big kid who never really managed to grow up properly.
でも、それが私なんです。
And she's proud of it.
いいじゃないですか、刹那さん。いいじゃないですか、最低で。
Man, the cope. Isn't it okay to be worthless? That's the fucking title of the stream, mate. That is the title of the stream. Isn't it okay to be worthless? Fucking hell. Do you know what? These characters are something else. That was after the question mark, right? Let me put the question mark in as well. Wait, why did that not work? Oh god.
まっとうな大人なんて案外いないものですよ。
I mean, you're not wrong.
みんな自分に自信を持てず、悩んで苦しんで、周りの人間からの評価を求めてすがって。
Yeah, I mean, that's called being human.
そうやって自分を肯定しながら、なんとか生きてるんです。
Right, I don't disagree with what she's saying here. Dawson Weber saying, thinking of trying the Witch Unholy Night visual novel. Witch Unholy Night? Imagedo saying, to be fair, most millennials are big kids. Arrested development is a thing that's been happening around the globe. See the Hikikomori epidemic, as they call it. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, look. I think as millennials we grew up, right? And our parents were probably a bit more strict and stuffy or whatever. Then obviously when we were kids, and like we've taken that on, and we were like, we don't want to be stuffy like that. We're just going to be stuffy in a different way because the new generation are different in a different way. And yeah, like it's like how maybe our parents' generation were a bit more strict, or some people might have been a bit more strict because the generation before it were they not the flower power generation? It's like how your parents, there'll be aspects of your parents that you want to emulate, but there'll be aspects of your parents that you want to be the total opposite of. And And again, that's not like, it's not the same, it's not generation wide or anything, but I do think there's things like that where you go, I don't want to be like my parents in this respect, because that sucked. I want to be the, better. I want to be the opposite. But then there's also the thing where you kind of become like your parents in some ways without wanting to be. Like, you get that as well. So Evangelion saying people are so hopeless these days that they take refuge in their childhood. I mean, I don't think that's something that's unique to millennials. But I do, a part of me thinks that we're not as tough mentally or physically on average as the generations before us. And I don't know, is that just upbringing, technology being more advanced, us being able to get away with a lot more things, the internet becoming so prevalent during our when we were growing up, compared to the previous generation, and that just like unlocked so many things that made it easier, like the convenience, like products, in terms of like, I don't know, it's just easier to like do things at home and shit. Google being a big thing, which massively revolutionized the dissemination of information worldwide. Like, so you could be a man child, but still kind of survive. Like the software development type. Like, so software development is a job, but there's a lot more desk jobs where you didn't have to go out and do like physical labor. Like socializing, like nowadays it's even more so, right, with social media. Like, we grew up with social media, right, Facebook and all that becoming a thing, so you could like have online friends instead of having to go out and stuff like that. Like, obviously not everyone was like that, but it allowed for things like that. And I think as society advances, like there's like, is like, just thinking about when someone has a kid nowadays, back in the day with my parents, when you had a kid, like you'd give birth and stuff like that. If everything was all right, the hospital would just be like, right, there you go home, and you just had to just fucking roll with it, right? Whereas nowadays, I've seen with some like sort of friends and stuff like that, when they have kids, it's like they keep a tabs on you. They give you these like fucking books and shit, and like they're like, oh, you need to do this. Here's the guidance. Here's like a welcome pack. There's like so much stuff, which is good, that helps you, right? Where you would have in the past have relied on your parents or other elders who had raised kids before, and like, I don't know, it's like you grow from making mistakes. You grow from fucking, if you fuck up and you're able to overcome it, you fucking grow from those experiences, right? I feel that you grow the most when you make the mistake and you're able to overcome that. And I just think there's less and less opportunities of that. And then people, when you're not used to making mistakes and being able to overcome them and various things in life, you become more scared of making those mistakes. Whereas if you make loads of mistakes and you're able to grow from them, and you can see that there's a growth there, you can grow a bit of a thicker skin and understand that these things can happen, it becomes a bit easier. I don't know. Maybe it's all these kind of like small things that build up to like, we don't have it the same way in a sense, and maybe that applies to the next generation as well, because they're even more fucked than we were in terms of like the way the internet is. Like, so we've talked about third spaces and how that's changed over the decades in the past. Like, there's less of them basically, people are just a lot more online. COVID hit as well, which totally fucked up a generation of kids in terms of their development. Dawson Weber saying it's a great visual novel, try it, Witch on Holy Night. I'll try and remember that. Evangelion saying the world is bleak, the economy is dire, debt is mounting, people are struggling. What's the point of growing up when you most likely won't have a future? I mean, because you have to at least pay the bills, right? And the day you can't pay the bills, that's a bigger problem. Like, I don't even think, I mean, you can escape in any way you want, but like, you wouldn't even be able to afford to like buy toys or pretend to like be a kid or whatever, because you wouldn't even have the money for that. Try not to remember. That's what I said. It's common in Gen Z, and I think it's technology. Technology definitely makes things. Everything. Technology is a double-edged sword. It is massively useful. It massively simplifies. It takes away a lot of the drudgery of day-to-day life, but it also can take control of us. And especially with social media, which is designed to just keep you hooked on it because they try to make as much money out of you as possible. That's the problem. It's so powerful that in the wrong hands, or in hands that are not thinking about your best interests at heart, it becomes a deadly tool, right? Evangelical says far more common millennials than Gen Z. Trust me, I grew up with them. All Gen Zs are under the age of 30. So yeah, Gen Z definitely. What I'll say, Evangelical, is Gen Z are apparently the first generation who are less technically savvy compared to the generation before them. At least the first time in a while. I'm not going to say in all of history, because they grow up with phones and tablets, and they're not used to as much. That's not to say, I'm not saying all Gen Z don't use PCs, because that's a ridiculous assertion, but a lot of them don't. And a lot of them, like when we were growing up, you'd have a problem, you couldn't easily Google it, you had to fucking figure the shit out and spend about 2 days figuring it out, and then maybe if you're lucky enough to like accidentally fall onto the solution, you'd figure it out. But it was a very big learning process, and we got used to kind of tinkering with things in a sense, if you were technically inclined, if you were into computers and games and shit like that. Like even I remember the BBC computers, you still have to write commands to start a game up and all that shit, right? That's not the same for Gen Z. So I've heard from a couple of different places people saying that they are actually less technically adept when it comes to computers on average compared to like millennials. I don't say which one Holy Light is part of the Tsukihime verse, by the way, Ash. Oh, knowing how you feel about Tsukihime. Oh. Cracker said Lane said that like 20 years ago. Wait, Lane said what? Evangelical said remember almanacs. I don't remember almanacs because I don't know. I mean, they probably existed in the UK, but I never like read that sort of stuff. I only know about the word almanac from fucking Back to the Future. Where there was it a sports almanac or something, that a guy goes back to the past. No, he goes to the future. Someone goes from the future back to the past and gives like a future almanac to someone in the past, so they know what the results were going to be for every sports thing. They'd bet you can become rich or something. Also, I was saying, as long as you pay bills, I think you can have a good life. If it's best work with somebody and you can have a good life. Yeah, I mean, yes. As long as you, if you can pay the bills and have some money left over, and you have someone to spend life with. But you know what? It's not very easy nowadays to achieve that. Evangelical says, "Yep, writing commands using BASIC." Do you know what they say? Necessity is the mother of invention, right? When you're fucked and you have to figure shit out, you will come up with ways to figure that shit out. And when the more constrained you are, the more creative you have to be, and inventive you have to be, right? We almost live in a world now where computers are, in a sense, too powerful when it comes to at least more simpler coding things. You end up just like writing some code that's massively inefficient, but it does the job, and your computer is so fast, it doesn't matter, right? Now we're talking about simple stuff. Obviously, when it comes to like games or like complicated algorithms or ChatGPT or whatever the fuck, those are a different story. But yeah, Evangelical says, I used to read almanacs my grandparents owned. They were really thick books. Awesome. I'll ask you the question, do you remember books? Because, I mean, plenty of people still read books, obviously. But they're not as common nowadays as they used to be. Like, I mean, when you were at school, I mean, I don't know, I've not been to school for a very long time. But, you know, you had physical textbooks and all that shit. I wonder if nowadays it's all just fucking go on a tablet and learn your shit. Because I've got a feeling that kids aren't going with as many textbooks and shit as we used to back in the day. And there are some there's something sad about that. And to be honest, we probably suffer from a bit of that as well. Like losing that physical tactileness of life. Like when everything goes on a screen, you kind of lose something, all right? When you've got physical books that you have to when you're reading a book and you're paging through the physical book compared to an e-reader, an ebook thing. It's a very different experience. And that's not to say that we shouldn't have e-readers or anything. I just think that we're losing the tactileness of life. That's what I love fucking using a mechanical keyboard. I love the feel of the keyboard and the mouse in my hands. When I'm on a tablet and I'm typing away on the screen, it fucking sucks ass. And I just look at some of the like you look at a Tesla car and it's fucking a giant screen and it hardly has any physical buttons. And I'm like, no, man, I like the physical buttons in my car. I like to feel something. Also, if you're driving and you want to press a button while you're looking on the road, you want to be able to feel for the button. You don't want to just fucking try and fucking touch on a flat screen. Like, you lose something in that. Like, even the old telephones, right? You press the buttons, or the ones, even the ones that you fucking rung round, right? The ancient ones. Like, a cassette player where you go ka-chink, right? Ka-chink when you fucking press that play button, right? Ka-chink when you press the stop button, right? It felt fucking good, right? It felt like something. Now you just tap a fucking your screen and hope that the app doesn't freeze on you. We've definitely lost something in that when we move things just to screens and stuff like that. And I don't think it's a good thing. It's just because it's simpler, it's cheaper, isn't it, just to have a screen that's programmable than it is to have physical buttons and all that stuff. And so the tendency is going to be that we're going to go more and more towards that sort of environment for most things, and less and more away from like physical tactile things. Not in everything, but like in a lot of things. Dawson Weber says, "Do you like Tsukihime, Ash?" Tsukihime was I had a complicated relationship with that game. I did like the main story. I hated the fucking hentai scenes with a fucking passion, and it almost ruined the game for me. Evangelii, I don't say. Remember Bridges class? What they used to call typing class in the early 2000s. I never had typing class for some reason. I did do computing at school, which might have encompassed that. They didn't have that when I was at school. That's not to say they didn't have it anywhere in the UK. I just didn't do that. But I feel like that was a thing at some point. Maybe a little bit before my time, or just not at my school. Dawson Weber says, I think AI is very dangerous. Yep, I agree. I think it can be a massively useful tool, but I think it can be massively dangerous depending on how it's used. And AI is really just machine algorithms at this point. It's not truly thinking yet. Or maybe they have created something that is truly thinking, not told us about it. Or maybe that AI has been in control of the the internet for a while now, and we just don't know about it. Also, Weber says, I miss when video games were on DVD. They're trying to go full digital. Yeah, I mean, I miss that too. But having said that, my current PC doesn't have a fucking CD drive or DVD drive. Everything's moving away from physical, which I disagree with. But at the same time, getting a digital game is so much faster and convenient. But then you don't have a physical disc. You don't own anything. It's all renting. You pay for a game on Steam, you don't own it. You just own the rights to play it if Steam decide that it's okay. Steam can get rid of that game, you're fucked. Fucked! Unless you keep a backup of it or whatever. Ivan Jado said, AI is a glorified word processor, spreadsheet-based predictive algorithm. It's not that dangerous when you understand how it works. Awesome. Well, currently, yes. Currently, that is how it is. In a sense. But like the danger is not even AI in terms of what we believe, what actual AI is, like an actual intelligence that thinks, it goes, I think, therefore I am, I understand myself, I perceive myself in this world, and I think and I learn. You just need to make an algorithm, right, that like learns, and even in a basic sense, and it changes and it proves continuously, and it just gets itself into a loop, and it has enough control of the internet or or systems or whatever to be able to like create, I don't know, robots or whatever the fuck it decides to do that can like be a danger to humanity. So you just need to have something that's like got a feedback loop and it's able to keep on like improving upon its algorithms and quote unquote learn and have some reason to hate humanity. And it's not even, sorry, not hate humanity, have some reason to think in its algorithm that getting rid of humanity is the solution for whatever it's trying to do. And there you go. That's the danger. Like, it doesn't even need to become sentient. It just needs to be like, have enough control and have some bizarro, because in terms of efficiency, getting rid of humans was probably makes sense in some bizarre way at some point. Evangel just saying also at Ashmanics, I feel like the lack of tactile feedback through buttons and the shift to touchscreen based controls is a reflection of society, the lack of feeling. You know what, yeah, I get that. That makes sense. It does have there is a lack of physical interaction, the lack of physical touch and everything in terms of human society nowadays. Like, I'll be honest, I love being able to work from home. I don't want to get rid of that. But that is a far more removed form of interaction with other people from work when you're on Teams or whatever the fuck, the video chat, than it is to sit with someone and face to face and talk to them and work with them. But yeah, that is like, it is a reflection. I do agree with that sentiment. Dawson Weber says Tsukihime remake so good without hentai stuff and they made CL better. Really? I like the old art style Tsukihime. Oh, maybe I should have got the newer one, but Dawson Weber says, but what if they made AI that thinks for... If they make AI that thinks for itself, we're fucked. Unless it doesn't deem us to be a threat. Evangelo is saying, the problem with creating an algorithm that learns is that it's still limited by the hardware it's using. You need massive amounts of RAM. Just for an AI model to retain memory of a previous conversation without hallucinations, corruption. The technology for such a thing is so far off that we almost likely won't have to worry about it in our lifetime. I don't know, Evangeli Donut. Like, an algorithm that thinks for itself, all it has to do... I mean, you have algorithms that quote-unquote adapt, right? Adaptive algorithms, adaptive filters that have feedback loops exist. Yeah, you're right, though. The problem is only if it has access to things to be able to, like... So say it feeds back and it realizes it doesn't have enough power, right? It needs more servers to run or whatever the fuck. If it doesn't have any access to be able to, like, spin up more servers or order more servers to be installed and built for it, then it's fucked. Doesn't matter shit. But if it has access, or if it's able to find access, because again, it's able to hack through. What was it? There was a test. I don't know if it was a ChatGPT thing. It was an AI. It was a machine algorithm thing, learning algorithm, where they said, what did they do? This like, what was it they did? It was like to win or to play the most efficient game of like Tetris or something, and it basically just found a way to like pause the game or stop the game or something. It did something that was like unintended, but it technically was the most efficient way of doing what it was asked to do. And that's the problem, is that they can't predict what the algorithm will decide is the most efficient way of doing a task, and that is the problem, right? Because again, these algorithms are not human. They don't have any of these ethics or morals, and even if you try and build it into them, they don't have the inbuilt morals or ethics or whatever that people do. So they'll do some things that you'd be like, I wouldn't have done that, and I didn't predict that I would think this way. So Dawson Weber says, like, CL Story is way better than a remake. Well, robots may be real 30 years from now. Maybe. I mean, we have robots now. We've got the Tesla robot. We have a lot of robots. I mean, robots are just the physical machines that can move about, right? We have robots, and we have humanoid robots. That's what it says. And Witch and Holy Knight has no hentai stuff. And it's great. Awesome. Well, I appreciate the recommendation. Let's continue.
そんな生き方もいいじゃないですか。楽しいじゃないですか。幸せじゃないですか。
Look at this cope.
確かに昔のように毎日が輝いてはいませんよ。ずいぶん世界は狭くなってしまいましたし、体も心もすっかり硬くなってしまいました。ですが、今になってようやく実感しているんです。私もこの世界の一部なのだと。
Cope.
虫や魚や動物たちと一緒なんです。この星に抱かれて生きるか弱い命の一つなんです。なら生に興じるのに何を窮することがありましょうか。幸せを語るのに何を臆することがありましょうか。
I'm finding it hard to understand what Maria's talking about. Maybe it was just drunk chatter, or maybe she never meant anything by it in the first place. And then she started swooning over Sarah near the end of her story, when I never even asked about her. Gazing up at the sky, I let out a deep sigh. I'm another of those weak lives under the protection of this planet. Does that imply that there's a reason I'm alive? Will I be able to find myself someday? What should I do to make Rinne and Kuon acknowledge me as family? Regret, huh? We still have the question of who is this Setsuna? Where did he come from originally? Because everyone else seems to be accounted for, but not this guy. I think back to what Maria said before I left.
人生には過程しかない。これはクーちゃんがよく言っていた言葉です。
Life is nothing but a process. Pretty cynical.
それは言い換えれば、今できることをすればいいということです。
Hey, that's not the conclusion you take from that.
今できることを全力でしましょうよ、せつなさん。
I mean, there's nothing wrong with putting all your efforts into what you can do now. But, like, you don't just live all your life in the moment.
そして明日も、一日お疲れ様と言って乾杯しましょうよ。
You're gonna fuck up your liver if you keep drinking vodka like that, man. What the hell? Is there something left for me to do as well? Something I can still do? No. Something that can only be done now. Something only I can accomplish. A job nobody else can do. The planet isn't giving me an answer. It just brings me a gentle ocean breeze. It just keeps on turning, holding me in a silent embrace. Island!
そこの兄ちゃん、あんたも本土から出稼ぎに来た口か?
Oh shit, it's the captain guy. 1 second, what the guy saying in chat? Evangelo Donut saying it was fed the source code, asked to find a more streamlined way of playing. The AI found a coding bug and spat it out to the person who then tested it in game and found that it worked. A coding bug exploit. Evangelo saying Mario in quotes, happiness is what you make it. I mean, yeah, I don't disagree with everything she's saying, but she's just like, just live in the moment. No. I mean, yes, but not all the time. Dawson Weber saying, but this visual novel, I would say, is too plays on Umineko one of the, yeah, I played Umineko, Dawson Weber. I've not streamed it, but I've played it. It's awesome. I agree. Evangelo saying, damn, it Setsuna, Maria's the only family you need. Dude, no man, what the fuck? Evangelo saying, Maria and Sarah, the mother-daughter couple. Man, both have great personalities. What are you talking about, man? Maria wants to hate against Kuon. Kuon is the best girl in this. Evangelo saying, speaking of fucking up livers through drinking, I'm a crack open a bottle of Blue Moon. Blue Moon sounds dodge. And anyone watching this above the age of 21 in America and 18 in most other places, drink responsibly. Or don't drink at all. Have a cup of tea like I do. Actually, I'm drinking fucking Monster Energy drink, which is probably not good for me either. That's what I was saying. As long as I got a home and food, I'm not happy not have to live so fancy. I get that. What you want, yeah, if you can have a home and you have food on the table and obviously enough money to be able to like enjoy some hobbies, right? And most importantly, if you have friends and family, right? Or friends who are family, you know, friends who are like family or whatever, you know what I mean, right? People who care for you. That's what really matters. Me? No, I'm the O'Hara family servant.
ああ、あの噂の。悪い悪い。俺は海の男なもんでな。丘のことに会うとくてよ。
Oh, I can't keep a track of all you landlubbers. Mate, what, are you just at sea all the time? It's fine, things have changed anyway. Today I find myself rocking aboard a ship atop the Azure Ocean. Oh, is he going with Maria to the mainland? No, he's going with Karn, wasn't he? He's gonna go shopping. I'm surrounded by swarthy, brawny youths. What? Some of them are speaking in foreign languages. I'm the only one who doesn't quite seem to fit in.
おい、坊主ども。見えてきやがったぞ。お前らの新しい家が。
Is he going to the off-sea platform? At the captain's call, I look beyond the bow.
あれが世界最大の海上ステーション。浦島基地だ。
Wait, is it the biggest offshore platform in the world? That would be fucking impressive. The large structure looms over us like a fortress. What should I do? Unfortunately, I'm not the brightest spark, so no matter how long I thought about it, I couldn't find an answer to that question. Oh, he took up the job. I thought of rewriting history yet again and making it as if nothing ever happened, but I've already tried that. And if I just repeat the same actions, I won't ever make any progress.
覚悟しとけよ。海の上で暮らすんだ。お前らも今日からは海の男の一員だ。
Wait, he said there's a bunch of people there from, like, speaking different languages. Why are they coming from the island? Wouldn't they come from the mainland?
ねえあげるんじゃねえぞ。がっつり稼いで故郷の家族に楽させてやれ。
What the fuck is this pep talk?
私は山吹桃香。主に皆さんのここでの生活のサポートを担当させていただきます。
Why does this platform have, like, why does it look like some futuristic spaceship from the inside? I never understood that. Even I don't say I grew up in the ghetto, I survive in the ghetto, I will die in the ghetto. Such is the way life goes in the ghetto. Mate, look, I get that. I get what you're saying, but you don't have to. I mean, if you want to, that's fine. If you don't want to, you don't need to. You can always, there's always an option, right? To, like, go other places or something. I don't know. Like, I don't like the idea. I mean, I get the sentiment, right? This is where I'm from. This is where I want to die. But also, that doesn't mean that that's the only place that you should ever, like, be, if you know what I mean. But again, if you're happy with where you are, right? I'm not saying that you should just leave for the sake of, like, change or whatever, because that's bad as well. Dawson Weber says, yeah, like small 200 spin on yourself. Have you read Higurashi When They Cry visual novel? I'm a fan of the guy's work. You're a fan of Ryukishi 07? I have not read. I've read the first 2 chapters of Higurashi When They Cry, but I have watched the anime, the 2 seasons of the anime, which is how I first experienced Higurashi. I'm gonna say with Umineko, I never watched the anime. I heard it was bad, so I didn't bother watching it. I only read the visual novel fully. Dawson Weber says, I never played Danganronpa visual novels. They're really good. I have played the Danganronpa visual novels, yeah. I played, I think, all the main ones, the main 3.
小難しい話はお手元の冊子を読んでいただくとして、まずは歓迎いたします。
Also, I think we never really understood what the actual job was for this.
ようこそ皆さん、浦島基地へ。
It's only been a day since I got in contact with Momoka. She replied immediately and agreed to help me obtain a ticket towards my new life. Right, this is suspicious. Wait, one second. Is my Twitch not working? Why is this not? Oh my god. What is the problem with Twitch? I think, let me check my settings. I think my stream settings are too high. Twitch is such a bitch with these things. So is Twitch just not working or something? Man, why is YouTube becoming fucking a pain in the arse? And Twitch is just like... Whoa, 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 why both of them went offline? No. Don't shit yourself, YouTube. I think I've generally screwed my Twitch settings. Why is this not streaming at all? Right, it's now streaming. Unstable. It's too high. How low should it be? What is wrong with this shit, man? Twitch has gotten really antsy all of a sudden and it's really pissing me off. Anyway, fuck it. Let's continue. I don't know if I've made the right choice, but I can't just keep on slacking off forever while there's work to be done right here. I mean, you can't slack off forever. You gotta do something. Gotta put one step forward, right? Evangelo saying, as I make my own happiness, I'm fairly content. If you're a content man, that's all that matters. J. Jonah saying is dead, Jim. Don Survivor saying the anime's way better. Higurashi when they cry is my #1 anime. Nice. I really enjoyed Higurashi. Don Survivor saying I can't wait for Silent Hill F. I am looking forward to that because that's another Ryukushi game. Have you played Loopers? That was a Ryukushi wrote the story for that, I think. I didn't enjoy it that much, to be fair. 1 second, is this complaining? Yeah, it's saying your current bit rate is lower than recommended. Whatever, man. This bit, I need to look into this because it's beginning to fucking piss me off. Why is it that all of a sudden Twitches became really... Maybe it's because I got constant bitrate? Does that break it? I don't know, man. Like, I've been streaming for a while now, right? Like, almost 2 hours. Wait. No, shit. I mean, this is down for like a minute. Not almost 1.5 hours, but Twitch has been going on for 2 minutes. I have fucked this right up. Anyway. He'd also ever said, Loopers, he did not have much free reign on that one. No, he didn't. You can tell. I didn't enjoy it that much. I did play through it on this channel, though. If I have the time to worry, then I have time to act as well. Just like Kuon when she was searching for her missing daughter. Just like Rinio who's taken her first steps into the outside world. In order to stand on even ground with them, I have to make some kind of progress too.
それではこれより皆さんのお部屋にご案内します。こちらのエレベーターにお願いします。
Wait a minute, I've just realised this is a different route. This is not the wedding route where we got married and we had talked to Momoka about getting a job that's not being the servant of the Ohara family. So like, we must have just decided to take this job today or something. Momoka checks all the youth's ID cards with practice hands before leading them to the elevator. I'd like to call out to her to express my thanks, but this doesn't seem the right time and place for that.
せつなさん、
Yes? She beats me to it.
この後ちょっとよろしいですか？
I mean, of course. What's this about?
天国に連れて行って差し上げますので。
That's a dodgy sentence to say. Wait, what? A couple of hours later, after our first training session, I wasn't given a single moment to take a breather in my room. Momoka immediately called me over and... Why am I on the ship again?
すみません。ちょうど男手が欲しかったところでして。
What? What are we doing? The boat is filled with different people other than before. Old geezers with grey hair, fat middle-aged men, and a few skinny youths. What? Why are you calling them fat and skinny? Why are we judging them by their weight, man? She's right, I'm probably the strongest out of these people. What?
バイトの方たちではやはり情報漏洩のリスクがありまして、その点せつなさんは信頼できますからね。
Are we doing something top secret? Yeah, Dawson Weber says, Iwahime, he had lots of free reign. I love that one. I mean, I did enjoy Iwahime, but it was tough. Have you read the Fate visual novels? It's out in the West now. No, I've not read any of the Fate Stay stuff. And trust me.
なんと言いましても、コールドスリーパーのリンネさんの身内ですから。
Star Cold Sleeper, eh? Wait, what's this? Wait, what is this? Blue Moon. Oh, there's my face in the corner. Belgian Light. Damn. Orange peel. Women should not drink alcoholic beverages during pregnancy. Oh, yeah. Impairs your well, yeah. That's the standard. Interesting. I do like how in America they write their numbers with the letters on it. From like if you had a phone back in the day. With the letters on it. So it's like call 1-800 Blue Moon or whatever. For context, my RMS chat, since you mentioned it was Dodge. I mean, it does sound Dodge. Blue Moon sounds like a dodgy drink. It sounds like a drink that you only, it's like a thing that you only drink to get drunk. Right, anyway, let us continue. I'm getting fucking distracted here. Momoka flashes me a guileless, genuine smile. Ivan Jedot saying the fisting scene of Iwai Hime. Wait a minute, the fisting scene. I remember there was a scene with a caterpillar and one of the girls. I don't remember. Was that the fisting scene? Dawson Weber says, I cannot wait for Corpse Party 2. It's Corpse Party 2? What? I think I played the first one. Long time ago. Oh shit. Darkness Distortion. Oh shit, it's 3D. Is it gonna be a different... It just says coming soon on Steam. Lame. Lame. I need to remind myself what happened in the first one. It was a bunch of school kids, right? And a bunch of shit happened. Did they survive? I think they did survive, right? Corpse Party 2, Darkness Distortion delayed to 2025. That was 7 months ago. But they don't have a defined date. Wait, this is it's coming out on Switch though. Is it going to be on Switch too? Oh my god, the amount of ads on this fucking website. Fuck off. You're selling a product. Why do you need to have a bunch of fucking ads on top of it, you piece of shit? Is it going to be an 18? Oh shit. It just says coming soon, to be confirmed 2025. Wait, is that Switch or Switch 2? Looks like original Switch. Oh well, I mean it probably doesn't need to Switch 2. But anyway, one sec. Yvonne Jeddah saying, I believe the Blue Moon name might be from a Frank Sinatra song. Oh. Yvonne Jeddah saying Corpse Party was great. Oh, it was so long. I actually played it on my PSP on an emulator. I think that's how I played it. Actually, I think it was Kuxo that helped me get it on there. I don't know if I completed it. I think I might have completed it. There was an anime for it, right? Cracker saying fisting was probably with Magical Riri or Toy. Oh my god. Dawson Weber says it's a new story. Ah, okay. Cracker saying don't remember much. Yeah, me neither. Evangelion saying the first one also had a sequel which you missed. Really? Dawson Weber saying Switch 1 is coming. Okay. Evangelion saying why do they need ads on their product page? Green. I think it's. I mean, it's. I'm assuming the pops-ups are for like buy this product for this. It's the same website. It's at least it's not ads for different websites. Evangelion saying Chadman Kuxo. Yeah, Chadman Kuxo who is living his best life. Dawson Weber saying on Amazon it's coming in the summer. So where's the ship headed? I look away from Momoka and towards the front of the ship. What? I squint into the distance. On the horizon sits a single small island. Wait, you know the island? Has this captain been to the island? He should have been able to take us last time then.
あの時はことがことでしたから、大した調査は行えなかったのだそうです。ですがあの島は 海に消えたものが流れ着く場所。まだまだ貴重なものが眠っている可能性があります。というわけで、今日が初の正式な調査の日なんです。
Oh, interesting.
こんな日にせつなさんが来てくださるなんて、まるで運命のようですね。
Oh, don't talk about destiny around this guy. He gets pissy about it. Destiny, huh? It's what led me to go on my long, long journey. When I tried searching for my destiny, I couldn't find a single trace of it. All I found was a foolish man who kept chasing after one meaningless word. And yet...
楽しみですね。一体何が見つかるんでしょう。
Look how cheery and, like, bright and shiny Momika is. It isn't over yet. Dude, are we on the same part of the island where we find previous Setsuna? I step out onto the beach. It's so white that it almost seems translucent. Oh, what an amazing beach. Oh man, I went to a beach a couple of weeks back. Last week. It was last weekend? It was last weekend. In Scotland. And it was not a sandy beach, man. God, Scottish beaches suck ass, right? I'm sure there's probably sandy beaches somewhere. But it was a fucking pebbly beach, which was not very comfortable for my feet, I'll tell you that. And then I tried going into the water, and A, it was fucking freezing, and B, there was bloody stones everywhere, so it hurt like fuck. So I had to borrow someone's flip-flops, and even then it sucked ass. Oh, why don't we have cool beaches with sand and water that's not freezing? Dawson Weber says on Amazon it's coming in the summer. Awesome. Dawson Weber saying that part Iwanhime that was with the King Smasher. Yeah, that part was crazy. Yeah, the caterpillar thing. Yeah. Evangeli Donut saying, do they suck ass? Stone Beach. So, the beach, do you know how, like, because sand is just ground down stuff, right? So the beach was like, it was kind of sandy, but it was made up of a lot of like, there was that mostly small little pebbly things, right? It was weird. So it was like lots of them. I think there's sand in there, but it was like full of like these little pebbles and shit. So not great. And when you went to the water, it was like the ground was covered in like stones. I mean, there are a lot that were smooth stones, but they're not all smooth, and there was some jaggy bits. And even when you went like waist high into the water, there were still stones everywhere, and it fucking sucked. And I tried going in because I wasn't going to wear my shoes into the water because I didn't want to fuck up my shoes. So I had to borrow someone's sandals, and wearing sandals and try to like walk on stones under the water. That was not easy, especially when you're walking in the water, and it's yeah, so that sucked ass. So I learned that there's a thing called water shoes, which are basically just shoes that you can wear underwater, and they're not going to get designed for that. And I was like, shit, I should have brought some water shoes. But also, it's like, why is this not a sandy beach? Fuck off. But anyway, Tractor says, yes, it sounds mad depressing. Don't get me wrong, there was enough, like, the feel of this really small, tiny pebbles was kind of sandy. You could lie on it a bit like sand, but it was definitely not the same as a beautiful sandy beach, like the standard ones you get. I'm pretty sure there are sandy beaches in Scotland, just not where I was. And also they probably would have been madly busy because it was it was scorching hot for Scotland, at least. When I went, very rare in Scotland as well. So, I think there are beaches in places like Troon that are sandy, but I think those places get rammed with people when the weather's hot because again, we don't get it very often. And then you get rowdiness and all sorts of fucking tomfoolery. Crowded goes, that sounds mad depressing. Yeah, that's one thing I'm jealous of, man. I feel like in America, where you're at the sea, you get proper sandy fucking beaches. And I know because I went to California once. Oh man, those beaches are fucking amazing. I went to I think it's Venice Beach, right? Where it has all the mussel, the The bodybuilder dudes, like pumping actual iron in their like little training area or whatever the fuck on the beach. I saw a dude, he was fucking massive, man. Damn. It's true what they say, everything in America is bigger. Thus, whoever says that DLC story Wahimi was really good, that such was its worst cake she got ever. Oh my god, I can't remember now. I think I got the DLC stuff. I might be wrong. Evangel don't saying is stones and bones. Yep, I had water shoes as a kid. They are kind of a mesh on the top and rubber on the bottom. Yeah. Like, I never. I mean, I don't go to the beach much. I don't think any of you are going to find that surprising. So I've never had a need to wear fucking water shoes because I'm like, I ain't going in the fucking water. Cracker saying that's copium. Wait, what's copium? Dawson Weber saying, how did you like Raincode Ghost that she went to waifu, and I think the story was good. Raincode was cool. I felt like, again, it was quite long, but overall I did enjoy it. I didn't see the ending coming either, so yeah, it was good. Evangelist don't saying Tom fool. Tom must be the biggest fool. Yeah, I mean, I was just trying to be polite and not see a lot of people fucking about. I'm trying to swear less. Evangelist saying Ashman, if you ever get the chance, go to a beach in Oregon. I don't know if I'm gonna ever find myself in Oregon. That's the only thing. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna find myself in America anytime soon. Like, I went to America once in my life, and it just happened to be California. Let's see what Oregon. The Oregon trip. Oh, Portland, Oregon. I've heard people say those words. Portland, Oregon. So it's on the west coast. Oh, north of. So wait. Shit, it's just north of California. Sacramento. I hear people say Sacramento. So when I was in California, I was LA, and then we went to San Francisco, and then we came for like a weekend or something, and then we came back to LA, and then we flew home. Wait, so this little like penis, the side. Well, I say penis, a little sticky out. That's Mexico. Fucking hell. Okay, I've not looked at this properly before. So obviously Mexico border. Well, I say obviously. I've not really thought. Where's Texas? There it is. There it is. Texas. And then you have New Mexico, Arizona. I've heard of these places. Utah, Colorado, Wyoming, Middle America, baby. Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota. Fuck, I'm getting distracted now. Evangelical saying, and it's called Muscle Beach where they pump iron. Yeah, I've heard that. Muscle Beach. Say mucking about. If you want to cuss else, also, I lived in Portland. Ashton covers the Americas. The thing is, right, I hear people say these names, but I don't look at the map that much, right? Because I don't often have too much need to look at the more specifics. It's like how a lot of people in America don't know the differences between Scotland, England, and Wales, right? They might know about the UK. A lot of people know about the UK, but they don't realize that if they come to Scotland, like London is a city within England. Scotland's a separate country, even though it's part of the United Kingdom. They might not know about like Glasgow. How do they pronounce it? Glasgow, when it's Glasgow. Stuff like that. So, I mean, it is what it is, right? And America's the size of fucking Europe. Might even be bigger. Wait, I think it might even be bigger, right? It's fucking huge. So, I mean, I ain't gonna remember where shit is. Nebraska. I've heard that. Kansas. This ain't Kansas anymore. Iowa. Illinois. I hear Indiana. Ohio. Wisconsin. Michigan. I don't know why I feel like Pennsylvania. New York. Fucking, I have no clue about the geography. I know Texas. Las Vegas. Wait, Las Vegas is in Nevada. I've heard of the Nevada desert. Oregon, Washington. What the fuck? Washington is all the way on this side. But there's a Washington D.C. here, which is in... What the fuck? Why is that so confusing? New York, Vermont, New Hampshire. New Hampshire, these are like a lot of these names, not a lot. Some of these names are like, so New York is basically the new version of York. There's a place called York in England, and it's like a tiny city. And then you got New York, right? There's actually a place called California in Scotland that I only knew more recently. Like there are a whole bunch of names that have been taken from the UK, right? Just like you have names that are influenced by other places as well. I think there's a Florida in the UK somewhere as well. Like you have New England, New Jersey. There's a Jersey in the UK somewhere. It's interesting. Like New York. Oh shit! There's a place called Hamilton. Is that Canada? I think it's Canada. But there's a place called Hamilton in Scotland. And then you have a London in Canada as well. I'm like, lol. Obviously not the same as the London in the England and the UK. Anyway, Evangelio saying DC is Washington District of Columbia. Washington of the District of Columbia. Interesting. London, California. Is there a London, California? What the fuck? That's so weird, man. Long Beach. What a name. Huntington Beach. I'm just looking at the beaches now. Santa Monica. I think we went to Santa... Did we go to Santa Monica? I think we did. Did we? No, because that's the... Yeah, LA side. Man. Fucking beaches everywhere, man. Holy shit. Holy shit. So many fucking beaches. So fucking lucky. And you get good fucking summers. So fucking jealous. But anyway, I mean, you're always jealous of what you don't have, right? I'm quite happy to be British, Scottish. But man, you see the beaches and you go, fuck. Los Angeles County Museum of Art. Whoa. Anyway, fuck. I'm getting distracted by maps of America. What the fuck? Right. Let's continue. What's wrong with me? Right. Let's continue. I step out onto the beach. It's so wide that it almost seems translucent. The sand is soft under my feet. I sink down a little with every step, almost as if it were snow. Ryujima, the place where Rini and I once washed up. The edge of the world.
なるほど。魔女の住む島とはよく言ったものですね。
Momoka, slightly shaking her feet, has gotten off the boat as well. Though she doesn't seem full of her usual mix of excitement and scientific curiosity.
この場所は整いすぎています。まるで聖域のように。
That's an interesting thing to think. It seems almost like a sanctuary. It's too clean. Sanctuary?
もしかしたら本来人が足を踏み入れるべき場所ではないのかもしれません。
That's such a weird thought. Maybe ordinary people like me aren't supposed to enter. That's however saying there are other Corpse Party games. A bad ending in the game made different timelines, which is Corpse Party Book of Shadows and Blood Drive. Oh, interesting. This is the place where those lost at sea end up. A graveyard, in other words. Place which the living mustn't enter. If they do, death will creep up on them.
本土とも島とも植生が異なりますね。それが夏らしさを感じられない原因でしょうか。
Wait. What type of vegetation is there that makes you not think it's the summer? Like, and how on earth does that make any sense? Momoka seems to have remembered why she's here.
一種のビオトープですね。この小さな島で独自の生態系が形成されているのでしょう。
Wait, what? The island has its own unique ecosystem, right? There's going to be something... This island is going to be the real island of the fucking game, maybe. It's the special island. Maybe there's alien technology here or some shit.
おそらく新種の植物なども。と、そんなことは今はどうでもよかったですね。
Shouldn't you at least take pictures and shit and note them? I realize that everyone who'd been on the ship with us is already scattered. They just go where the wind blows, or wherever their feet take them. Scientists are such free spirits. I feel like scientists aren't as free spirit as you think, anyway.
それでは参りましょうか。すべてが始まった場所へ。
Where they found the time machine, the deep sleep machine. Momoka leads me farther along the beach. I feel so strange walking here with someone other than Rine.
もしかして最近リンネさんとうまくいってません？
Why? That's rather
こ
sudden.
れでも科学者の端くれですから、観察眼には自信があるんです。
I mean, we didn't have a problem with Rine, it was with Kuon, right? Too bad, but you're off the mark.
住み込みのバイトをするということは、リンネさんと距離ができるということにもなるわけですし。
Oh yeah, I mean, it does. We're not little kids, so there's no need for us to stick to each other 24/7. I don't know, I mean...
ズバリ浮気ですね。
Yeah, with you? You're so sharp, Momoka. Once on this beach I made a vow. I swore that I'd never fall in love with anyone else. If I could go back to that day and meet my past self, I'd punch him in the face. Mate, isn't that what someone did to you? Every cloud has a silver lining. No matter what I told myself back then, there's always a chance I'll meet someone new and fall in love with them, as long as I'm alive. It's not destiny or anything, it's just natural. How childish I was back then, when I didn't even understand that.
もしかしてリンネさんに何も告げないままこのバイトに？
Yeah. Oh shit.
まったく刹那さんは。
Dude, that's bad. That's so bad. Evangelia Donor saying, oh, another place you should visit is the Redwood Forest. Oh, where's that? What in where's the Redwood Forest? Dawson Weber saying 100 Line Last Defense Academy is what the fuck? 100 Line Last Defense Academy. It's a new game from Danganronpa. It's crazy. It's got 100 endings. It's their most hard work ever. The Danganronpa sure know how to make. I ain't playing that. No, fuck that. I'm not playing something that's 100 endings. I can't. I don't doubt it's a good game, but I just can't. Momoka lets out a deep sigh.
まあ仕方ありませんね。何せあの島には可愛い女の子がたくさんいますか
Are there? Really?
ら。で、どちらですか？
You say plenty? You mean 3 in total? 2?
あれ、私はてっきりカレンさんかサラちゃんかと。
What the fuck? How much attention have you been paying to what I've been up to? Maybe there could have been a future like that. Interesting you say that. However, the one I chose...
何にせよ、そう自分を追い詰めないことです。リンネさんもいつか許してくれると思いますよ。
I think we've chosen Kuon. We've chosen the Rine from the future.
もちろん、刹那さんがちゃんとリンネさんの元に戻ってあげることが大前提ですが。
What if I was to tell you that I was into her mum instead? Dawson Weber says, like Danganronpa guys sure know how to make good games. I don't doubt it. I don't want to play something that has 100 endings though. It hurts my soul. I just don't have the time for these things. Even when I stream, I don't want to spend 2 years playing a game when I'm streaming it.
戻られるつもりはあるんですよね。
I'm not sure. Aren't we supposed to be doing some research here or something? Why are we having this conversation? I mean, I don't mind, but at the same time, I feel like you're prying a bit. I'm not sure what my purpose would be if I went back to that mansion, and I don't feel like searching for it either. Damn. The mother of the house has devoted her whole life to her daughter, and the daughter owes her life to her mother. The two of them can run the household by themselves just fine. If I stayed there any longer, I would only end up destroying the relationship.
私はいつまでもお二人の仲を応援していますよ。
Dawson Weber says, well, if you ever do play it, you could always go for the truth ending and that's it. Oh! Wait, why is there 99 other endings then?
だって
No, wait.
島の伝承に出てくる刹那とリンネの二人が目の前で結ばれるだなんてロマンチックじゃないですか。
Oh, you sweet, innocent summer child. Now let me ask you a question, Dawson Weber. Do you have to get all other 99 endings before you get the truth ending? Because that's usually how these games work, and it fucking pisses me off. The legend, huh? Come to think of it, that legend is the sole reason why I allowed Destiny to lead me astray.
かつて愛し合う二人の男女がいました。
Once upon a time, some people fell in love. Mocha starts telling a story in a sing-song voice as if she's reciting a poem.
男の名は刹那、女の名は輪廻。しかし二人は決して結ばれてはならない運命にありました。
Dawson Weber sings what your top 3 anime? Ghost in the Shell, the movie. It's very hard to come up with the other two. I don't think of things as top. I'll have I think I'll Gintama. I'm gonna include that as a bit of an outlier, and I'll have Dragon Ball Z there because that had a massive effect on me when I watched it growing up. It has a soft spot in my heart for it.
二人は
That
血のつながった
list changes
家族
over
だった
time
の
though.
です。
To be honest, if you ask me the same question tomorrow, I might give you a different list of 3. Ghost in the Shell will always be in there though. Oh wait, what? Setsuna and Rine were related by blood, they were family. Oh shit, I forgot that part. I don't like where this is going. How ironic. It's the same for us, we're also not allowed to be together.
魔女に呪いをかけられた輪廻はそれを苦に自らの命を絶ってしまいます。島から追放された刹那は魔女の住む島暴龍島を目指します。
Why would you fall in love with your sister? What's wrong with you, man? I mean, if you grew up with her as your sister, why would you... I mean, like in today's society, right? If you grew up with your sister and then you're like, I love you, in not fucking brotherly way, you just Sweet Home Alabaming that shit. That's not good. So why is it okay in an old story? I'm pretty sure people didn't... I mean, yeah, it happened, obviously, to a degree. Just like it happens now to a degree. But I'm pretty sure it's frowned upon for the majority of history in most places. Evangelion saying top 3 for me are... Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex, nice. Gundam Wing, nice. Trigun, nice. These are all fucking awesome picks. Cracker says, I have heard that countless times, just stop and get to the point. Wait, heard what? The Sweet Home Alabama shit. Evangelion says, also that's some coffin of Andy. I know it is, isn't it? Our history is a little different from the legend though. Rini overcame her curse and I was accepted into the community. There are many different versions of the legend, but the end is always the same. The two will never be together.
暴龍島にたどり着いた刹那は魔女に懇願します。
Are we going to find the witch here? Is that what's going to happen? We're going to find who is the quote-unquote witch of this.
魔女は言いました。輪廻がいつの世かこの世界に再び生を受けることを。
Right, so the question I have is why did the witch fuck them over? Did we piss off the witch personally?
しかしそれが何百年後になるか何千年後になるかは魔女にさえも分かりませんでした。
And the real question is who is the witch in this story right now?
刹那は自らの時間を魔女に捧げ氷の中で長い眠りにつきました。
Could Momoka be the witch in all of this?
再び輪廻と巡り会えるその日を夢見ながら。
It's a bit weird to be like, I'm dreaming of when my partner will be reborn, and I am hoping she will be the fucking right age and not like 12, because that would be fucking messed up. What a stupid fairy tale. Yep. I've been dreaming of that day as well. I've been dreaming about it for decades, millennia even. However, reality is much crueler than fiction.
足元にお気をつけください。危ないですよ。
Dawson Weber says, yeah, it's hard to get truth ending. That's why I did not try it and pick my favorite girl ending. Fair enough. Cracker saying Monogatari, Lane, and Haruhi, I guess. No, those are good options. Evangelii Donut is saying, why did the witch fuck them over? They weren't related. Yeah, but did the witch just come out of nowhere and says, I am the incest police? You are trying to commit incest, therefore I curse you, bastard degenerates. Dawson Weber saying, my top 3 anime, number 1 is Higurashi, awesome. When They Cry. Number 2 is Danganronpa. 3 anime, Danganronpa 3 anime, and all the games on number 3, Black Lagoon. Oh, good option, good choice. I've not, it's been ages since I watched Black Lagoon. I should probably rewatch it because I feel like I've forgotten all of it now. Cracker saying, don't mind as much since I got new swimsuits every episode. Oh, you're talking about the Infinite 8 episodes. God, I can't remember Harui. Cracker saying, boo, lame witch. What are you talking about? Based witch. I look down at my feet and notice that the sandy beach has given away to rock. Oh shit, it's like where I was. And there's a gaping hole in the cliffside. It's the cave.
ここがリンネさんが発見されたというホラー穴です。クオンさんからは他に目立つものはなかったと聞いています。
Maybe she was lying. Maybe. Then why did we come here? Momoko steps into the cave without answering my question. I have no choice but to follow after her, or else I'll be left behind. Oh wait, he asked Momoka that, and Momoka is like not answering. Interesting. Is she here because she suspects Kuon didn't tell her everything? As we walk deeper into the cave, the light from the outside fades away. A freezing cold seems to be creeping up on us from below. Oh shit. Welcome to Scotland. Oh shit, I was right. And she keeps saying my observation skills. You don't have to say it like your fucking stats in an RPG. Just say I suspected she was lying. Or maybe this is Momoka being a geek and she doesn't know how to talk normally. I don't know. Who? Right, guys. I think we're gonna find out some fucking juicy shit just now. I'm gonna end the stream soon, but let's see where we go with this. My knees are shaking. Knees weak. Oh my god. Arms are sweaty. Was it knees weak, arms are sweaty, mum's spaghetti? I'm not sure if it's because of the cold or if it's fear. Why would you walk into a dark place, stand in the middle of the darkness first before switching on a flashlight or a torch, as I'd like to call it? Wouldn't you switch the torch on as soon as you see the entrance to the cave? Oh, fuck. Fuck it, hell. For a moment, the light burns my retinas, but then... Oh, fuck. This is the place that we stayed in the future that was connected to the main underground island. But it looks old. What does this mean? Evangelii Donut saying in before the future was the past. Evangelii said watch Black Lagoon and watch Jormungand. What? In quotations, our lie detector determined that was a lie. Lol. Practicing my observation skills telling me Ash is an old fart. Lol. Also, what we're saying, the rest of my top 10: number 4, Saga of Tanya the Evil; number 5, Steins Gate; number 6, Code Geass; number 7, Mushoku Tensei; number 8, Death Note; number 9, Gleipnir. Oh, Gleipnir, I did watch that. 10, all the Garden of Sinners movies. Oh, I've not seen that. Cracker saying this is nonsense. Wait, let's see where this goes. Huh? What's this? Why is this place here? Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
やはり思った通りだったようですね。
Wait, what do you suspect?
この場所は海に消えた過去の遺物が流れ着く場所ではなく、遺跡そのものだったんです。
Ancient ruins? What the actual motherfucking fuck? Ancient ruins?
この島の近海に眠る海底都市、私たちが竜宮城と呼んでいる超古代遺跡です。
Look, that civilization was a lot of things, but I wouldn't have called it super.
この1ヶ月間の調査により、海底に見られる遺跡群は巨大な地下遺跡の最上層に過ぎないことが分かってきました。
Why didn't you tell me this before we came here?
遺跡は地下深く何十層にも及んでおり、かつては何万もの人間が暮らしていたのではないかと推測されています。
Character saying Gias is that low. Wait, what? Evangelidor says Tears of the past, promises of the future. Dawson Weber saying, well, that's my top 10. I still watch new anime. That's interesting. Also, no, that's a good top 10, man. I like it. Character saying, I would say the ending to Code Geass is one of the, if not the best ending in anime. Oh, dude, I can't even remember what happened at the end of Code Geass. No, I do remember. I do remember.
そこで私たちは考えました。であれば、その周囲にはいくつもの出入り口があったのではないか。
What does this all mean?
そのうちのいくつかはこの海域に点在する無人島に残されているのではないかと。
Does it mean that this world lives on a loop system where, like, after a certain amount of time, everything just repeats? Like society repeats?
そう、ここは超古代遺跡への入り口だったんです。
Ancient ruins? That's not right. This is the place where I lived with Greenie in the future. It's the secret workshop she created. But what's it doing in the past? A time machine. She was building a time machine. At first she believed it to be the cockpit of the Islander, and she insisted that it was something we needed to save the world. Maybe it was actually just a part of a real time machine. And maybe that time machine sent the entire island back into the past? I guess? I'm sure it was somewhere around here. It should be right here. My memory serves me right. Ah! A very familiar device stands before my eyes. The cushions and cover of the chair have completely withered away, as all that remains is the frame, but its shape is exactly the same as I remembered it from that last day.
タイムマシン。
Yeah, because the question that has to be asked, when he uses it, he ends up at sea, and he ends up on the beach. Why does he end up on the beach if he's sitting in the chair? Momoko examines the device with a curious gaze. That's right, this is a time machine. These aren't the remains of some ancient civilization. They belong to the future, but have time slipped into the past.
なるほど。面白い仮説ですね。
It isn't a theory. I saw it with my own two
で
eyes.
すが、残念ながら違うようです。
Is she going to hit us with science and reasoning, whereas we've been pulling shit out of our arse? Dawson Meyer said it was a great ending, but some episodes were not as top tier as the rest. Crack Dealer says perpetual incest. Evangelist says I love Nadesiko. Not correct. What proof does she have?
私たちは今、リンネさんが眠っていたコールドスリープマシンを解析しています。もちろん、この時代の技術では解析できていない部分だらけです。が、大雑把な内部構造は把握しているつもりです。
What are you trying to say?
外見こそ違いますが、この装置は 例の装置に酷似しているんです。
Huh?
いえ、いっそコピー品と言っても過言ではないでしょう。見てください。電源周りなんて全く同じ作りになっています。形状が洗練されていないことから見て試作機でしょうか、あるいは例の装置を模倣して作られたものかもしれませんね。どちらがオリジナルかは持ち帰って詳しく調べてみないことには。
What are you talking about? I traveled to the future in order to get my hands on a time machine, and Rini had inherited the blueprint from her ancestors.
つまりこれはですね、タイムマシンはタイムマシンでも過去から未来への一方通行のタイムマシン、すなわちコールドスリープマシンです。
What the fuck? Anyway, I think
こちらに記録しておきますね。
this
タ
is
イ
a
トルに
great
戻ります
time
ね。
to
アイラ
say.
ンド。
Let
お
me
まけ
check
画面に行きます。
something.
CG を鑑賞します。
Well, what? We got one more. Even though we didn't do anything. Still have 3 left. No, we haven't complete. Oh, fuck, we didn't get any more CGs.
タイトルに戻りますね。アイランド。
So, fucking hell. That was a bit of a bombshell. Dawson Weber says Serial Experiment Lane. I never watched, but I do love its opening song. Evangel Adonis says watch more non-mainstream anime. Dawson Weber, mainstream is boring because that's all people talk about. I don't know. I mean, yes. And if you have recommendations, you know, guys, you can join the Discord. Link in the description of the video. Blah blah blah. There's an anime section you can recommend anime in. Cooksoul, welcome to the stream. Have been meaning to watch Martian successor Nadesico for 20 years. I don't know what the fuck that is. What anime that is. So let me just a quick look to share. Oh, that's an anime. Interesting. Anyway, enough distractions. Cooker says, by the way, I've been on a Gundam Seed hype lately. It's amazingly trashy. I love it. Evangel says, after Seed, watch 00. After Seed. Anyway, we will leave it there for today. Thank you for joining us. I hope you've enjoyed my tangents and what little of the game that we've progressed through so far. We seem to be still 80% of the way in terms of CGs through the game, so we haven't made too much progress. But we have discovered a bit of a bombshell. We've discovered that the machine that Rene made in the future was a cold sleep machine, just like the machine that we had used ourselves, so it wasn't a time machine that went back to the past. So now we're like, what the fuck is going on here? And that's going to be the real question that we hope to get some sort of answer for next time. But we're slowly scratching away to the core, towards the core of the story to find out what's going on. Also, I've just realized they're all wearing their shoes under the water. How uncomfortable is that? You're wearing your socks and your shoes under the water. You're just going to get them soaked. These are boots, so at least they'll protect Rene. But, dude, Sarah's got the bottom of her dress, her outfit, in the water. That is terrible. Anyway, just gonna get soaked and freaking cold. I don't want to sing. Pete Gundam was actually why it's your fave anyway night. What? Dawson Weber saying why? Well, I do, but they're not as top tier, and at least it's not as mainstream as Bleach and Naruto and One Piece. True. Anyway, let's leave it there for today. Thank you for joining me. I will definitely be continuing this soon because I am enjoying where we're going with this. I might even do a stream tomorrow of this. I don't know. But yes, this is Island. I am Ashmanix. Thank you all for joining me. Tell me how you're finding this playthrough or this game. Leave a comment, subscribe, blah blah blah, all the shits. and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.